Welcome to A Well-Designed Business with your host, LuAnn Nigara. LuAnn has a lifetime of experience building a multi-million-dollar business with her husband and cousin, and she knows the challenges you face in your interior design business. LuAnn brings you real-life answers to your most pressing problems, as well as practical strategies to explode your interior design business. So, let's get to the business of interior design.
I'd like to thank my sponsor, Cherish, and to let you know about this gem of a resource. Cherish, which can be found at www.chairish.com/trade, is the premier online marketplace where design pros just like you can go to source the best vintage decor and furniture. With more than 125,000 curated items for sale, Cherish makes it easy, fun, and fast for you to find stylish pieces at great deals to suit every client and every project. The items are ready to ship, hint, hint, which means no waiting, and Cherish offers a 2-day return policy. Here's some more good stuff. Cherish trade members enjoy special benefits, including cash back on every purchase, white glove delivery, and exclusive concierge service. Sign up for their trade program today at www.cherish.com/trade.
So I have a big question for you. Why did you come here today?
You.
Okay. Well, I came so that I could dance and walk into Celine Dion, so I don't know. Right? Seriously. Planes, trains, automobiles, all kinds of things to get here, right? We're looking for that thing, that little magic pill. A little there. This could be fun seeing all you guys. Once I realize who you are and I'm looking, right? That you want that little magic pill, right? That thing that moves your business forward. That little aha moment. So you feel like, I got this, right? How do I know this? I know this because I'm the same way. I'm you. I do what you do every day. I get up, I go on a window treatment appointment, I design a window treatment, I quote a window treatment, hopefully get dollar bills for that window treatment, step and repeat, right? So here's the thing. The little magic pill, it has some ingredients to it. And I'm going to tell you a story about where I sort of came up with what these ingredients are. When I was in 9th grade, I go to start high school. I had gone to a small parochial grammar school. It's like 20 kids in each grade. There's 2 grades and 2 of the class. Sounds like Little House on the Prairie when I say it out loud. Wasn't that crazy? And I go to 9th grade, and I'm very excited to get to 9th grade because now there's all kinds of stuff. And it's the second day of school, and I'm walking around the hallways, and I'm seeing Spanish club, ski club, field hockey teams, everything. And I am like a kid in the candy shop, and then I see student government. And I'm like, next to sports, that was the one. I was like, ooh, I got to find out what this is, what is happening with student government. Because at that point, 13-year-old LuAnn was going to be President of the United States. So, dreams. So I decide I've got to run for student government. And I walk home from school that day. My parents are in the house. And I walk in and I say, I am going to run for vice president of the freshman class. My mother looks at me and she says, vice president? Why not president? Right. And I said, well, I don't even know what they do. I got to get my feet wet. I'll do vice president for a year and then next year. She's like, if you don't know how to be president, who knows how to be president? That's ridiculous. You're running for president. As we're going back and forth, my dad pops in. He's like, don't fill her head. Don't get her going on that. She can't run for vice president or president. I'm looking at him, and my dad wasn't touchy-feely, but he wasn't a jerk either. And so I'm about to say something, and my mother's like, how dare you? She can do anything she puts her mind to. Don't you dare tell her. And I'm about to come in and pipe in, but they start to go at it. And it was like that sort of like, I think I'll just sit here while they have their little thing. And finally he looks, in the middle of the argument, he looks and he says, so who else is running for president of this class anyway? And I said, well, I heard this one girl, her name's Karen Diamond. And he looks at my mother and he says, you see, this girl isn't from St. Pete's. She knows there's 120 kids in this class. She knows 6 of them, and that girl knows 118 of them. 8. And I'm just looking at him, and she's going, I don't care how many she knows. She can be president. She's going to be president. That's that. And they're going back and forth, and I'm sort of thinking about it. And I'm like, he's got a really good point. I'm in this school 2 days. The election is next week, and I really do know 6 kids because most of the kids went to the Catholic high school. So as they're going back and forth, I'm thinking, well, do I give up? Do I just wait till next year? What do I do? And I'm just like, darn it, I don't want to give up. I just don't want to. So I thought, I need a plan. Have to have a plan. So I came up with my plan. And the next day, I walked into that school, and every single person I saw in that school, I walked up to and went, are you in the freshman class? Are you in the freshman class? Are you in the freshman class? It was sort of like that book, Are You My Mother? And every person that said yes, I went, well, I'm LuAnn Schwartz, and I am running for president of your class, and I'm going to be a rock star president, and I'm going to do so good, and would you please vote for me? And so I did this every day for a week. I was clearly the geekiest person on the planet. And but that next week, I able to walk home, walked into that kitchen, and I said, I am president of the freshman class. Never made it to POTUS, but, So, anyway, so the thing is, it's about this mix, right? So what I would love for you to do is take out your cell phones now. I know that's taboo, but just take them out and hold them up. Put them on camera mode. Now, put them on selfie mode. Take a good look. You might want to take a picture, document it. This is your magic pill, right here. You guys, okay? Because it comes down to a decision. And we all have the ability to make that decision. So you need to be a little bit like my mom. You need to have confidence in yourself. You have to know that you can do something. You have to know that you have a good business and that you're a good business leader. But then you have to be like my dad, and you have to identify the obstacles and plan for them, not run away from them. And then you need a plan, okay? You have to have a plan. You have to run around and introduce yourself to everybody in the freshman class. But then it comes down to a decision, because confidence and a plan without a decision, it's nothing. It's just confidence and a plan, right? So you have to choose every day to go out and do it, because it's not going to happen for you. It's not going to happen to you. The decision starts here, and you need to make that decision every day as a business person. You can't make it Monday and then pick it up again Friday. Okay? So here's the thing. At WindowWorks, we've had, thankfully, our successes through the years. We are in business since 1982. It is 3 of us that own the business together. It's myself, my husband Vince, and our partner Billy. And in 2016, after 34 years in business, we did over $2 million in sales, with 3 of us in the sales position. So we're very lucky, very fortunate. We work very hard, and we make decisions every day. And I'm curious, is anybody here, like, from the window treatment Stone Age, like I am, and remember when WindowWorks was a franchise? Do we have any franchisees here, too? No? We have been. So here's the thing. WindowWorks was a franchise. As a company, it started in the late 70s and went to the early 90s. And the 3 of us owned 3 of the franchises. And from the year that we opened our units through the next 10 years, as the company was in business still, 2 of our 3 franchises were 1 and 2 in highest gross sales every year. So we have a little bit going on in this area, and what I'd like to do is speak to you about what I think when I look back and I consider our business, the things that contributed to its success. And so the first thing I believe is leadership. The second thing I believe are systems. And the third thing I believe is excellence itself. So I'm going to talk to you about these things, and let me just say, this almost seems a little silly now after being in the hallway. I'm not sure if all of you know that WindowWorks has a podcast, but it seems like everybody I talk to in the hallway is like, no, podcast. Anyway, if you're not familiar, last year, WindowWorks, we launched a podcast, February 2016, and it's called, what is it called? It's called A Well-Designed Business. What we do every week is I interview 3 people every week on the show. It comes out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday and Wednesday, I interview industry people, window treatment professionals, interior designers, PR professionals from the industry, and we talk about what makes a successful business. We talk about the things that are required to put all of those things together so you can get to the moment where you make a decision. And on Friday, I open it up to anybody that can help us. Any field, any expert that can move the needle forward for us, okay? So, back to my 3 things. Number 1, leadership. Number 2, systems. Number 3, excellence. So, leadership. Leadership is a lot of things. There's a lot of things that go into creating and being a terrific leader. And truthfully, I could probably do, a day and a half on that. But I'm going to restrict leadership to the 3 things that I believe it starts with. And the first is, as the leader of your company, you must establish your company mission. The second thing is, as the leader of your company, it's up to you to establish your company core values. And the third thing is to establish accountability. So, company mission. Interestingly, when I interviewed my husband Vince on the podcast, who's sitting right here, Vincenz, say hello to everybody. And this is Kimberly Seraphin sitting next to him, our interior designer that works for us and my right-hand man. So anything that happens that's good, just look to her, she figured it out for me. When I interviewed Vin, I said to him, Vin, picture you're in a room with about 8 or 10 entrepreneurs. And they're new, and they're hungry, and they want to get their business started off on the right foot, and they want to have a good, solid foundation for setting themselves up for years of success. What would you say to them? And he said, well, the first thing I would say to them is that they have to establish their company mission. And he said, when you establish your company mission clearly for yourself, it helps you every day get up and know what your point is. Why did you show up? Why are you walking into your place of business? And he said, and also it helps your employees understand. And he said, for example, at WindowWorks, our company mission is to be the very best window treatment retailer, no diss to all the rest of you, at providing light and shade, providing privacy, light, and shade at the window. And he said, you remember back in the early 90s when you wanted to put all kinds of tchotchkes in the showroom and furniture and you thought we should do this? He said, it didn't support our company mission. And of course, he's a great guy, and he indulges me, and we did it, and it totally flopped because it was not our company mission. So he said, but if you do this, it keeps you steadfast every day. He said, it should be simple, it should be clear, it should be direct. And he said, because the other thing is, as entrepreneurs, we have tons of ideas, and we have tons of skills and talents. He said, so you don't get going down rabbit holes and forget what the heck you showed up for, right? So that's company mission. The second thing is establish your company core values. And this is very important as the business owner, to understand what they are and to make them clear to yourself and make them clear to your employees. I like to call them the non-negotiables. What are the things that are so important to you as a business owner that in almost any situation, the poopy hits the fan, everybody's going crazy, and what is a non-negotiable? At the end of this resolve, this is going to be what we're going to come through with, okay? So for us, our non-negotiables, our company core values are integrity and customer service. So Kay Whitaker was on the podcast. She is a business consultant from Texas, and she's a really, really very smart lady. And I've had her back on the show a couple of times because she's just that smart. And she said that in addition to helping you as the business owner, the business leader, knowing what your core values are, she said it also helps your employees. Because all day long, all week long, your employees are acting and speaking on your behalf with your clients, with your vendors. And she said, and if they're very clear on what's most important to you, it makes their day easier. So for example, how many times did your showroom coordinator get this phone call? Hi, your installer was here. My husband was home when he did the installation, and I just walked in the door, and your man left a purple drape, and I ordered a blue drape. So your showroom coordinator's like, let me get that paperwork. And they open it up, and it says, oh, Mrs. Sally Smith, one purple drape. No, I ordered a blue drape. Well, what happens? Your showroom coordinator, if she's not sure what your company values are, maybe she goes down this whole crazy road with this customer and starts a little back and forth. At WindowWorks, when Adriana gets a phone call from Miss Crazy Pants like that, she just says, she just looking at the words purple drape, she knows what's most important to Vin and Bill and myself is customer service, customer satisfaction. Not 90% of the time, not 99, 100% of the time. Not when it's free, not when it doesn't cost us extra money every time. So she knows all she has to do is say to Mrs. Crazy Pants, oh my goodness, you ordered a purple drape and a blue drape and we delivered you purple? I'm not sure how that happened, but I know that we're going to get to the bottom of that for you. Well, you know, and you know how they are. They keep pressing, and that's what I ordered. Of course it's what you ordered. I'm sure there's a miscommunication. I'm going to have LuAnn call you. Well, what's she going to do? And if she, I'm not paying for this drape, and don't collect my credit card. I know LuAnn wants you to be happy. I know LuAnn isn't going to leave this transaction with you until you have the blue drape that you want. You don't worry about that, Mrs. Smith. You can get off the ledge, right? So,
right.
There's some things we say out loud, and there's other things we say in our head. So, but the point is that think about that comfort for my Adriana. She doesn't have to wonder. She doesn't have to say. She doesn't have to say, well, I'm not sure what we're going to do. And I'm not. It makes her comfortable because it's a non-negotiable for us. I'll tell you a story, another one about 100% customer satisfaction. It was a couple years ago in South Orange, the Montrose section of South Orange. It's a very beautiful section of this town near where we have our business. And very beautiful Georgian center hall colonials, old homes, huge windows, like, you know, everybody says standard windows. These standard windows are like 60 inches wide by 70 inches tall in all the bedrooms. So the woman wants shutters, and I go out on the appointment, and she's so sweet and so nice, and we just hit it off, and she's like, I want all my bedrooms done, and there's 4 of those, and I want my living room, my dining room, like, oh yeah, this is good, let's do this. So I measure everything up, and she picks, and we pick the hinges, and we pick everything, and she gives me a check, and I'm like, this is fun, I like this. So I leave, we place the order. 6 weeks later, I'm sitting at my desk, and Billy, my partner, who is our lead installer, he walks up to me and he says, you know, I'm going out to see Mrs. So-and-so today in South Orange and the big shutter install. You know, anything I need to know? No, we're good. It's fine. No big deal. Okay. Hour later, I'm sitting at my desk, Billy comes walking through the door. I'm like, oh, no. I should not be seeing your face right now. That was a much longer install than 1 hour. Why are you here? And he says, yeah, it's not going up. It's not going up? No. Lou, she has all tilting windows, and you ordered the whole job with hanging strips. And I'm like, what's the problem? And he's like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And I'm like, awesome. So $15,000 worth of firewood. He's like, pretty much. I'm like, fabulous. So, but here's the thing, and the very important part of this is that on the install, this is what Billy says. Hi, Mrs. Smith, we've got a problem. Would you come over here and look at the windows with me for a moment? LuAnn made a mistake. Pretty good one. I can see what you did, and I have a solution for you. This is what I'd like to do. I'm not going to be able to install today, but if I go through with you what I have to reorder and how it has to be installed the next time, and how it's going to hang, we have a solution to this. So the point that I'm making is that Billy knows that he doesn't have to find out, hey, what's our net profit on this? Do I have enough money to redo this job? what are we going to do? Is this going to be like, I mean, he knows darn well if I sold that for 15, it probably cost 7, just saying. But if it costs 10 more to fix it, we're doing it. That's how we roll it in Millwork.
That's right.
We don't do it only when it's easy. We do it 100% of the time. And as I explained, because it's a company core value, he, as the installer, doesn't have to be in a tailspin on the install. And that's what Kay Whitaker says. If you know what your company core values are, it gets you out the door moving every day, but it does help all of your employees. So it's not good enough for just you to know it. You got to know it, you got to establish it, but you got to live it, and you got to breathe it, and you got to teach it to your people, okay? All right, so last one is establish accountability. This is important as a business owner because, well, first of all, how many of you are familiar with Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth? People? Yes. It's a good one. So this is an excellent book, by the way. If you are not familiar with it, put it on Audible, do how you do it, read it on your Kindle. For a small business owner, absolutely amazing book. So I actually had another consultant on the show. Her name is Stacey Brown Randall. And she is a consultant, very, 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 very bright lady, does online consulting and everything like that, remote consulting, and she actually rereads this book every year. So that's pretty significant. That was pretty significant to me. Anyway, so the premise of the book that Michael Gerber talks about is that we all know the overwhelming majority of small businesses fail, out and fail. And we also know that even greater majority of small businesses actually struggle. They're open, surviving, life support, getting through year after year, right? And what he says is that it's because many small businesses fail to recognize that there's 3 roles that the owner has to make sure are covered. You need to have your technician role covered, you need to have your manager role covered, and you need to have your entrepreneur role covered. So what he's explaining and suggesting is that you're probably those 3 people, but you probably have a strength for one. And if your business is struggling, it's because you're functioning in your strength and you're forgetting to cover the other roles. You're just like, hey, so for instance, technician. This group were easy to understand who is probably the technician in our business. Because the technician is the one who creates the magic. The technician is the one that, if you're an interior designer, is doing the floor plans and picking the fabrics and making that room amazing. If you're the window treatment installer, you're the one doing the artist every day. You're going up and you're fixing things like crazy hanging strips that aren't supposed to be there, right? So, but if you are the technician only, and you leave those other roles out. So how many of you, I know this group is going to know this, how many of you know an amazing wallpaper hanger, a plumber, carpenter, handyman, that once he's in your little space in front of you with your customer, awesome. But, coming Tuesday, what month, what year? Call you back, like what? Telephone, have a cell phone? I don't know what that is, right? Like drive you to drink, right? Honestly. It's like, dude, just show up and do your stuff. But you know what? He doesn't have the manager behind him locking his stuff down. And because he's so good, or she is so good at what she does, their business goes along. Because once you get them, they're great. So the thing is, that's technician. The manager is the person that does all of the nudgy stuff. The manager is the person that pays your bills. The manager is the person that monitors your bills. The manager is the person that, make sure the taxes are paid. How many times do you know a technician that runs a business and, I haven't paid my taxes in 5 years? It's like, so, the manager does these things. And then the entrepreneur personality is the dreamer. The entrepreneur is the one that looks forward and looks back and thinks about things. How many times have you heard the phrase, don't just work in your business, you need to work on your business, right? So working in your business is being a technician, is being manager, it's getting all that stuff done that keeps the doors open. Working on your business is dreaming about your business. It's what am I going to do in 1 year? What does it look like in 3? What does it look like in 5? What are my goals? And a lot of small business owners don't take the time to do that. And believe me, I get it. It's, who's got the time? But how can you go? How can you be president of your class if you don't figure out how to get it, right? You got to figure out what it is that is coming next for your business. So for WindowWorks, we're like ridiculously lucky because quite naturally and quite inherently, the three of us are very naturally the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. Of course, Billy, our lead installer. I know you guys are a lot of good installers in this room, but I would put him up against anybody, anywhere in the country. He is just so good and so talented, and we're so fortunate. And then, of course, my husband, Vin, is like the master of all things money. Like, just, okay, figure it out, whatever. And then I'm the entrepreneur personality. I'm the one that says, I don't know, want to launch a podcast? What's a podcast? So we're very fortunate. We're very lucky. If you are not as fortunate to have partners, the other roles don't have to be fulfilled by partners, okay? So if you happen to be the technician in your business, maybe you're the designer, maybe you are the installer, you can hire an amazing office admin, right? How many times do you know that wallpaper guy has his wife at home locking him down? This is when he'll be there, and this is that. So it doesn't have to be a partner, but you can't ignore the taxes. Right? I mean, you got to do it. So, and the same with the entrepreneur. If that's not your personality, then I would say, there's probably 100 of us here in the room. We're all colleagues. We all do the same thing for a living. Make friends with somebody that's a little further down the line than you are, and say, could I Skype call you once a month and just say, what the heck should I do next? Okay, and just get out of your box and figure out a way to dream about your business, right? Okay, so that's established accountability, and that's your responsibility as the business owner to do exactly that, because no one else is going to do it. Okay, the second key is systems, right? I would tell you that in our experience in WindowWorks, then coupled with the last year of the podcast, that systems is the number one thing that contributes to the success of your business. You can do a whole lot of things right, but if you don't have a system for it, I promise you, you're just running in a circle chasing your tail. So we're very lucky. My husband's a system Nazi, okay? I, myself, came slow and hard to the systems game because, of course, I'm an out-of-the-box thinker. I'm like, let's just do it this way, let's just do it that way, and that way works good. No. You've got to go into your systems, okay? So if I said to you guys right now, how many of you can name 5 systems for your business? Could you do it? If I called on you and I said, tell me 5 systems, could you do it? I can tell you if I called on Kimberly here and asked her to name 5 systems for WindowWorks, she'd say, do we have to stop at 5? Can we do 25? Can we do 40? We have systems that have systems at WindowWorks. So I'll tell you, one of the systems that we have at WindowWorks is called the Red Pen system. And the Red Pen system is a component of the daily financial accounting for deposits and balance dues. So this financial accounting for deposits and balance dues has layers of systems to it. But the one system within it is the Red Pen system. The Red Pen system, in our office, no one can use a red pen except for myself and my husband. That's it. If your name isn't LuAnn or Vin, you better not have a red pen. There's times I'm talking to Kim at her desk and I'll be looking down at her pen thing, I'll be like, you have a red pen in there. So I didn't use it though. I didn't use it. It's just there. So, and the thing about it is when we onboard new employees, at some point in the first hour or two, I'll be like, and by the way, don't think about touching her red pen. And Kim will laugh. She'll be like, no, she's not kidding. You're not kidding. And they'll look at me. I'm like, I'm dead serious. No red pen for you. No red pen for you. So the thing is, Vin and I can only use the red pen for one thing. We can't write a note with it. We can't make a list. We can't do an invoice with it. We can only use the red pen for indicating our initials and the date next to a deposit received or a balance due received on our WindowWorks invoice. That's it. It's the only thing we can use it for. Somebody can pay WindowWorks a deposit or a balance due. It can go through 5 employees. It's not going to, but it could. And no one is going to mark that deposit as received or the balance received except him or me, and it's going to be in red pen. So here's what happens. The reason for the system is because the other system that it has is every single year in January, he will go through every single customer's name in our sales log, which is, yes, another system that I'm not going to go into, but we have the other system. And so every January he looks and he's like, oh, January 17th, he looks back and he says, January 2016, oh, the first sale was Mrs. Smith. Okay, he goes around and he finds Mrs. Smith's invoice. Wherever, there's a system for where the invoices are, but if it's not there, then he has to keep looking, but there's a system for where the invoices are. And he literally looks at every single invoice for the entire year and sees if he's got red pen on the deposit and red pen on the balance due. And you know why he does this? Because in the beginning, he had the system of going back and doing the analyzation in January every year for the previous year, but he would look at the deposit and then he'd have to go to all the credit card deposits or all the bank deposits and say, oh, Mrs. Smith, January 1st, she gave us a deposit, now I see it. And here's what happened. He used to do that system every year, and every year he found deposits and balance dues not collected. Money on the table, out on the street, our money, gave them their blinds, did their install, and never took their money. Because you know what happens? Your installer's there. Oh, you know, my husband has a checkbook. Whatever. Stop. Give us our money. No. Okay. All right. So you call the office with your credit card. But then you get back to the office and everybody's busy and who remembers to do it? So he was finding out that every year we were leaving money on the street. And we did call those people no matter how long it was. And said, sorry, you thought you got away with it, but, you know, last March you didn't give us your $2,000. We'll take it now, thanks. So the thing is, as he did this system, it got better and better. It took 4, 5, 6 years for it to be foolproof. Yeah. Because what happens is, you know, you have people like me in the system that break the system. It's like, what are you doing? You didn't bring me that deposit. You didn't mark it in red pen. Yeah, it takes time. So, but now we all know, it's very scary in our office, the red pen system. God forbid he come out of his office in January and go, I have an invoice here with no red pen. And we're all like, I'm hiding. Because you don't want to be the last one to touch that paperwork, because he'll figure it out. Who is the one that checked it in? Who did it? And you're just like, I'm under the desk, thanks, bye, see ya. So, very serious business. And I would tell you guys right now, aside from everything else, if you are sitting in this audience and you do not have a system for accounting for your balance dues and your deposits, you've left money on the table this year. And I promise you, if I sent that crazy systems Nazi into your office to look at your paperwork for the last year, he'll find money you left out there, right? That's just dead real. So use a red pen system if you want. You could use a more fancy one, but you know, that one works pretty cool, especially when you instill the fear about the red pen in there. All right. So this is systems. So think about what systems you have. You need systems for answering the phone. You need systems for, I was just at the Design Bloggers Conference in LA, and there was a whole conversation about how when you call a vendor, the woman was talking about how she calls her stone vendor. And there's Bob, Tony, and Sal at the stone yard that she calls. And she's like, they never say their name. It's like, hi, so-and-so stone yard. And she's like, Bob, Tony, Sal? Say your name. Make a system. Hi, so-and-so stone yard, it's Sal. Awesome, let's get started. So you need a system for your phone. You need a system for paying your bills. You need a system for dreaming about your business. Schedule it in. You know, Friday, he pays bills. It's in his schedule every Friday, pay bills. Thursdays, it's in Adriana's schedule to prepare the bills to pay. So if I come to Adriana on Thursday morning and I have something that I need done, I know it has to get done around the bill paying. Because it's not like, hey, screw the bills this week, we'll just do them next week. No, because Crazy Man wants to see the bills on Friday. Not next Monday, Friday. Because that's the system. So think about every part of your business. Makes your life easier. I'm telling you, I've been completely honest, I've been telling you, I came to it slow because it's a pain in the neck. Let's be serious, it's a pain in the neck to live in systems. I mean, at least for people like me it is. But I can tell you that living in the system has created so much more comfort, even for me, than it was being out of the system. So I have a system for when I go on measures with interior designers, because we do a lot of, I don't know what your business models are here, but we of course sell window treatments retail, but then I also have 20 or 25 interior designers that I do their window treatments, right? And I'm not going to disparage interior designers or anything, but not a lot of systems using for the podcast. So when I go on a measure with an interior designer, I always find it very, very curious how we could be measuring an entire house for window treatments and only one of us has a pen and paper. Very weird. Very weird. Oh, LuAnn, put it at 2 inches above the molding and 4 inches over here and break the floor on this one and off the floor in this one. 9,000 directions and I'm the only one with a pen. It's the most insane thing on the planet. So I have developed my system because what invariably happens is that we measure a job in September. Designer presents the budget to the client. Client chops up or adds or does whatever. Then we go back in November and we measure again. Then we finally get deposits in January. Then we finally are going to do a final measure in February. Well, how many designers you think remember what they told me in September? I'm going to tell you how many, right here. This is how many. Promise, 0, not a zilch. But here's what LuAnn does, because LuAnn learned. Because LuAnn used to be, hey, no big deal, I'll just take the measurements and we'll be fine. No. Now what LuAnn does is she takes the measurements. First day, September. Who's present? LuAnn's here, Sally's here, Susie's here, customer's here. This is the date. And I take all my measurements. Then when we go back in November, now I have a green pen. Oh, so we're just going to measure the living room again. And now instead of it being to the crown molding, you want it just above the molding. So there's what I do, right next to the resin. Per Susie, November 1st, changed height to crown molding. We're back in January. Now we'll get a blue pen. Oh, guess what? Crazy Pants changed it back to under the mold. I love it. Awesome. Now we install in, April, and Billy puts it up, and here's the mover. I definitely did not want the drape here. This is ridiculous. Who would ever put the drape there? And I'm like, you see, here you told me this, here you told me that, here. Because does a work order say? No, it doesn't say. It says one drape. So, I have come to love systems because they save my booty now. Okay, so that's systems. It's your responsibility as the business owner to establish them, work in them, whether it's your personality or not. I promise you, it makes life easier. The other thing I'm just going to add too is if you are sort of in the, the fall of your business, not quite winter in my business, fall. But if you are further down the road in your business life here, and if you have not developed systems, then what's coming for retirement? How do you sell your business if you don't have any systems? Because you don't have a business. You have a you. You have a you. You come in, somebody says, oh, you have an awesome business. You have a gazillion. We have 24,000 customers so far at WindowWorks since 1982. That's valuable, right? I could say to somebody in 5 or 6 years, look at this mailing list. Look at this customer base. This is 24,000 people that love us. You put your name on this. They're your customers now. But what am I passing over to them? Well, I don't know. Here it is. Just, it's a whole bunch of stuff. There's all the paperwork. See you, bye. Who wants to buy that? Nobody wants to get there's nothing to buy. So, even if you're a solo and your life is just fine and you don't have crazy people that tell you you didn't do something or didn't say something and you got it all locked down, think about it for when you're looking to retire, okay? Okay, so that's systems. Excellence itself. Here's the thing about all this. You can be a great leader, you can have great systems, but if you don't actually execute, if you don't actually make that decision to be excellent and to do it, what's it for, right? And I'll tell you what it's for. At this point in our business, WindowWorks is literally 7 out of 10 appointments in a week are referrals. So 7 out of 10 times when I go out to meet somebody, I've been to their house, I've been, or this is their sister or their mother or their brother. This is a great gift of two things. Of longevity in business is sort of like, yay, okay, it was all worth it, and having run an excellent business. So let me paint a picture for you. When I am going out and I'm looking at my day and I see 5 or 6 appointments in a day, 4 or 5 of them are going to be people I know. And so when I'm making my way to those appointments, I'm not thinking, what's this person going to be like? Am I going to make a connection with them? Are they going to be a nudge? What's the house going to be like? Am I going to make a sale? I need a sale. We need a sale. Vinny's on my butt. I need a sale. No. I'm driving up to those appointments and I'm thinking, oh man, I haven't seen her in 10 years. This is awesome. Both, our kids are the same age. My kid just got married. I wonder if her kids are married. Or I'm thinking, oh, this is so-and-so's mom. That's so sweet. Or here's the other one that's really happening all the time now. This is so-and-so's daughter who I did her house when she was 13 and now she's a grown woman. It's like, what? So it's the thing about it is that we earn that. We earn that because of all the things that we do in our business. Because we are great leaders. We have great systems, and we choose excellence. And you can earn that too, right? It's right out there. So if you're thinking, it's just as simple as making a decision, I would say to you, that's like saying, I'll just join a gym and I'll be in shape. A little bit more. It's good to know what to do and what to decide about. But why is it hard? Well, it's hard because, first of all, let's take our 100% commitment to customer satisfaction. Why is that hard? Well, because some people are crazy. Let's be real. Some of those customers aren't exactly right. That plaque on the wall, the customer's always right. It's a big lie. It's nonsense. That's not true. But what can be true is I have a saying in our business. Do we want to be right? Or do we want to get what we want? You see? So it's very tempting to want to be right. We all want to be right. I'm right. But the big picture in business especially, and I believe in relationships as well, my little Oprah moment, but big picture in business is you want what you want. Okay? Think about that. Doesn't matter if you're right. You want what you want. And what we want at WindowWorks is to be recognized for impeccable customer satisfaction, customer service. So that means we have to let go of being right with the lady with said she ordered blue, but somehow, purple got written on the invoice that she signed. I don't know, that's crazy. So you have to let go of being right. I struggle with systems. He sometimes struggles with that. He'll say, that's ridiculous. It says right here, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I know, but do we want to be right or do we want? All right, you better call her that. Easier for me to have that conversation. So, I would say to you, if you do all that, then you will be in that catbird seat too. You will have those 7 out of 10 referrals and those easy appointments. And, there's a thing too, the other 3 appointments in a week that we're going to go on, they also relate to all of this, and they come back to a result of our decisions and our systems and our leadership. So I'll tell you, I remember it was just about a year or 2, maybe 2 years ago. The Facebook groups, the mom groups, the newcomers groups, these are groups that are gold, but you must have an impeccable reputation in these groups because you can't go in. Somebody can say all kinds of crazy stuff. You can't get in and you don't know it. So we had this situation a couple years ago. Someone calls the show and says to Adriana, oh, can I speak to LuAnn? LuAnn's not here. Oh, all right. Well, can I take a message? No. I'll just come into the showroom one day and speak to her. Well, that's probably not going to happen if you just walk into the showroom. I'm not usually going to just be there. So she's like, no. We have a free shop at home service. Let me set an appointment up for LuAnn to come and meet you. No, I don't want her to come out to my house. I just wanted to talk to her. Well, all right. I'll tell you what. Why don't I make an appointment for you to meet her in the showroom? Okay. So So of course I see this appointment. I'm like, why am I meeting somebody in the showroom? I hate showroom appointments. Don't tell any of my customers that I hate them. I really do. I hate when I have to look at the little phone. Oh, what should I do on that window? I don't know, lady. I need to see the rest of the room. Kimberly's very good at showroom appointments. She's really good at it. I don't know how she does it, but I don't know how she does half the things that she does. So a woman comes into the showroom, and she was nice. We, hit it right off. It was awesome. We're chit-chatting, this and that and the other thing. And after a few minutes, you could see she was sort of just vetting us. And so after a couple of minutes, she didn't even ask me one thing about her window on a little phone, which was awesome. And so she makes an appointment, and I go out to her house the following week. And so we're talking, and she says, I wanted you to look at my master bathroom. Somebody did something there. I'm not really happy with it. What do you think? And so I take a look at it, and we're chatting in the bathroom. And I said, by the way, how did you hear about our company? And she said, the newcomers group in Short Hills. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah. All right, great. All right, so now we go back. We're talking about the window again. And we come up with an idea. I'm like, and the fabric was like $300 a yard that she spent on this, treatment. And I'm like, well, we can't scrap this. But if we do this, we raise it a little higher, blah, 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 we add that, I think it'll be fine. I think we'll salvage it. I think it'll be awesome. Don't worry about it. I like that idea. Okay. Why don't you come out and look at my bedroom now? So we go out and look at her bedroom. It's like 25-foot wall, 9-foot ceilings. And she's like, I need something here. And so, I start my interrogation. Well, how do you like to sleep? Is it vampire dark? Is it Las Vegas dark? Like what? Do you like it in the morning? What do you want to do? And what kind of privacy? And are those trees going to go bare in the winter? Do we have neighbors back there? Go through all the questions. And I say to her, based on everything, I think this is what I would say to do. And she looks at me and she goes, wow. She goes, the other guy wanted me to la. And I just sit there, I said, I think aesthetically it's a great idea, but, these 3 or 4 criteria, I don't see how it meets them. And she says, no, I think you're right. She goes, I like your idea. I said, okay, good. And she goes, you're going to learn about me. I'm a very direct person. And I said, that's great, because that's how I am too. So I said, okay. So she goes, you remember you just asked me a few minutes ago how we heard about you. And I said, yeah. And she goes, and I told you the Facebook group. And I said, exactly. And she said, well, when I put in, I need window treatments, who should I go to? She said, a lot of people said window works. Like 15 or 16 came up and said window works right away. She goes, but at least 3 or 4 of them also said that you're expensive. And she looks right at me. And I said, they did. She said, yes, they did. And I said, okay. I said, tell me the other 15 or 16 people. What did they say specifically about window works? And she said, they said that you're really reliable. They said that you've been around forever. She said one person even said that your installer worked in her house all day on a rainy day, and he had 2 pairs of shoes with him. That he would go into the house at the front door, take off 1 pair of shoes, and put on a 2nd pair of shoes. And then when he had to go back out to his truck again, he would change at the front door and change again. And I said, oh, well, that's Billy, because Billy doesn't want to be on a ladder without shoes. And Billy knows that he's not going to track mud through your house. And she said, yeah, because they said that. And then, and then somebody said that, oh my goodness, you don't even know window works is in your house on the install day. They take all the garbage, everything, little vacuum, clean it all up, love it. And I just looked at her, I said, that's so awesome. Do you want to trade all that for a lower price?
Right. Get what you pay for. Yes.
Right? And she said, no, ma'am, I do not. Would you start measuring my windows? I said, yes, I will. So the thing is, that comes as a result of those other things, right? It comes as a result of our company mission, our core values, our integrity, our honesty, our customer service. That all relates into that because she's spitting back to me basically what our company is. So the thing that I want to leave you with is that I've had this little aha over the last, 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 years, with time's flying, at such a deep appreciation for what myself and my husband and our cousin have created with the help of people like Kimberly. And I know it's hard. I know that you're at all different points of your business. You know, maybe some of you are still picking up kids in between going to client appointments. And believe me, my poor Christy, you know, the last one at the CYO with the coach, and, you know, all the lights on. I've been there. Peanut butter for dinner again, yay! So I know that the day-to-day, the month-to-month, it's hard. And it's hard to stay in your systems, and it's hard to keep that decision every day. But it's worth it. And when you get to this point, like we are, many years down the road, you spend your day going to see your friends, making money, selling to them, having a great time. You spend your day with, you know, employees that come up behind you that you're just amazed at what they do that you never even thought of doing. So what I want to say is, choose, decide to be confident. Decide to have confidence in yourself. Decide to have confidence in yourself as a leader. Decide to have confidence in your systems and implement them. Decide to be excellent. Decide to run your business the best you can every day, not just one day, all the days. Because if you do that, then you're going to have that magic pill. And you're also going to have a well-designed business. That's my 2 cents on that, guys.
LuAnn, that was awesome.
Great.
Thank you so much. All of you that showed up early in the morning to see this great motivational speaker. And I hope it kicks off a wonderful expo experience. My staff is here to help you have a nice, smooth show. We've got tons of great seminars, wonderful exhibitors on the show floor. Don't miss a single thing. And I did want to say we've got a wonderful app that will kind of keep you updated as to what's going on. And it's, who can tell me what it is? IWCE Expo is the correct app, okay? So download it.
The International Wireless Communications Expo.
Pardon me? No, you know what? If you do that, I know there's another show that's really close. But it is, if you do download IWCE Expo app, it'll tell you about cocktail parties that we're having on the show floor, special events, construction zone, whatever. So make sure you make the most of it. As LuAnn said, excellence is your decision, and you're here because you want to be excellent. So have a great show.
I'm so proud to tell you that our podcast is sponsored by Cravat Inc., featuring CuratedCravat.com. You know, because I've told you a million times, that I've been a Cravat customer since the early 1980s. And the truth is, I can't say enough great things about Cravat Inc., except to tell you that now there's CuratedCravat.com. At CuratedCravat.com, they work so hard to source high-quality items for you and for your clients. And they really do make it very easy to find that unique piece to complete your interior design project. Do you know what a couple of my favorite parts are? First, it's trade only. That's right, they have your back at Cravat Inc. Second, they have no minimums. Isn't that awesome? And third, the ordering process is a snap. Design, click, delivered. It's so easy. You need to visit CuratedCravat.com today and be sure to use your discount code CKPodcast. You get to use that code for one order and you will get 10% off that entire order. CK Podcast at CuratedCravat.com. Thank you for joining me again today for another episode of A Well-Designed Business. This podcast is a production of WindowWorks in Livingston, New Jersey, your trade resource for custom window treatments and awnings. Learn more about WindowWorks at www.windowworks-nj.com. All of our music is original music by Room 2 Productions. Please contact us if you want to learn more about original music for your business or your events.